Hi friends, I'm Katie Brinkley and you're listening to a Rocky Mountain Marketing Quickcast. These bite-sized episodes are released every Thursday and are going to give you the latest news and tips in the world of social media that are happening right now. Let's dive into today's Quickcast episode. Welcome back to another Rocky Mountain Marketing Quickcast episode. I love these Quickcast episodes because we have the opportunity to do a deep dive into something that's going to have massive results for you as a business owner using the power of social media. And for the past few weeks, I've really been talking a lot about AI. So in today's episode, I want to take us back to the basics. I want to take us back to content calendars. And you might say, what the heck is a content calendar here, Katie? But simply put, a content calendar is the tool that will help you plan and organize your content creation and distribution. It's going to help you remain consistent. And it's going to help you when you are struggling with, man, I know I need to be doing a post today, but I don't know what to say. It can be as simple or as complex as you want. And I think that when you have a content calendar in place, it allows you to develop a strategy and realize what content is working with your ideal clients and customers and which part of your content plan is not. And you might be thinking, Katie, why do I need a content calendar? Can I just wing it? I mean, I've been doing this for years. People are seeing my stuff. I mean, it gets okay engagement, and that's certainly an option. I'm not going to say that this is going to be the tried and true method for every single entrepreneur out there. But in my 19 years experience, I have found that using a content calendar has some significant benefits. And if you've been winging it and you like being able to create content on the fly, then I'm going to try and persuade you to just give my way a shot here, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. And for those of you that are saying like, this sounds great, Katie, a content calendar, I've heard of those things. Well, I'm going to dive into that in today's episode. Because when you have a content calendar in place, it can help you improve your planning. It can help you improve your organization. It makes you more efficient so you can focus more on the other aspects of your business. The whole reason why you started your business. I'm sure that most of you did not start your business so you could be spending all day on social media. And it's also going to help you create better facilitation of collaboration amongst your team members. So in today's episode, we are going to dive into all of these benefits, as well as some of the tips that I have for creating your own content calendar and some of the challenges that you might face and how to overcome them. So whether you're a seasoned marketer or you are just getting started, let's dive into today's episode. So now that you know what a content calendar is, let's talk about the benefits of using one. There are several advantages to using a content calendar for your team, whether it's a team of you or a team of you and your assistant or a team of you and 100. If you have a content calendar in place, the right hand is talking to the left. It allows for improved planning and organization, increased efficiency, and better collaboration. So let's talk about the first part, planning and organization. When you use a content calendar, you're able to coordinate your content creation and distribute it more efficiently. By planning your content in advance, this is where you're going to be able to make sure that you're creating the right type of content for your audience. It's aligned with your marketing goals, and it's going to help you avoid those last-minute scrambling random pictures of your dog that really have nothing to do with your business. They're going to help you create the posts that are going to maximize your effectiveness online. No more spaghetti at the wall method here. You're going to be able to create a post. This is where my posting less strategy really comes into place. Because every post that you've created is written specifically for a purpose and for your ideal client and customer. I'm not talking about just showing up and selling 3 times on social media, a few times a week. No. We're creating value-driven posts that we've seen work in the past and recreating the content so that you can get in, make an impact, and get back to building your business. So I said again too, that using a content calendar will help you increase efficiency. So whether you have a roadmap for your content creation, you can avoid duplication and make sure that you're using the most of your resources. You can avoid posting the same type of content time and time again because you can see, oh, okay, well, I recently just talked about this strategy, or I recently just shared this image. You're not going to be duplicating your posts. And this is going to save you time and money to help you achieve your marketing goals more quickly. And lastly, using a content calendar can help facilitate better collaboration amongst your team members. So if you have a team in place and you say, okay, well, I've written out what I want to have, I wrote out the caption, or here's this picture of this closed property. If you're a realtor, here's the pictures of the property and the happy homeowners. Assistant, go ahead and write the caption. It makes it so everyone can go in and get their job done in advance so that there's no lapse in posting. So now that we've covered the benefits of using a content calendar, let's talk about how to create one that works for your team. Now, it's no surprise, no secret here for those of you who are regular listeners to the podcast and who follow me over on social media. I am a huge fan of a tool called Loomly. That is where I spend a lot of time in Loomly creating all the content and mapping out the content for not just myself, but my clients as well. So when you have a content calendar in place, Loomly is a paid tool. If you're interested in Loomly, I will include a link in the show notes, but that's a paid tool. There's a free tool if you're spending time on Facebook and Instagram. You can use the Meta Business Suite, but this kind of takes us back to determining your goals and your target audience. So before you start creating your content calendar, it's really important to have a clear understanding of what you're trying to achieve and who you're trying to reach. You have to know who you're talking to. You need to be creating content that resonates with your target audience and supports your marketing goals. If you show up and you're just creating content that you think that they want to hear, well, I would just show up and put a link to my sales page every day because I want more leads. But that is not what somebody is going to see, resonate with, want to follow you with, and lead them into your world, help them be a part of your community. You have to know who it is that you're talking to. And then you want to choose the right format and tools for your team. So there's many types of content calendars. Like I said before, I love Loomly. There's the Meta Business Suite. You don't even want to use that. You can use Google Sheets. There's free tools out there. There's super duper complex tools out there. So look at what your team's needs and preferences are when choosing a format and a tool. Make sure that everyone knows how to use the tools and that they're easily accessible for all the team members. I'm going to talk about Loomly again here really quickly because one of the things I love about Loomly is that you get the full calendar view. You can see the entire month of March or April or June at a time. And you can map it out and be like, all right, well, we're going to do this post on this day and this post on this day. And you can see, that 100-foot view of your content for the month. And it also allows you to have multiple hands in the pot. So for me, and what I do for my clients is I go in and I build out the strategy. What type of post do I want to do? What article are we linking to? How are we going to repurpose this blog post? And then I hand it off to my team. My copywriter then comes in and writes the copy. The designer comes in and creates the graphics for it or adds in the images. The Reels person comes in and creates the reel for it. So, there's a lot of people involved, but it allows all of us to contribute and collaborate in one spot before it goes out, before it hits Instagram or Facebook. And you need to figure out how often do you want to post. I'm a huge proponent of the 3 posts a week strategy, the less is more strategy. That's what I use, not just for my own social media, but for my clients as well. But you have to figure out where your clients are and how you enjoy creating content and be consistent with it. You can be, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever. Once you know how often you want to be creating content, you can do it a week in advance. You can do it 2 weeks in advance. You can do it a month in advance. But if you know, hey, I need to do 3 posts a week, I'm going to sit down for an hour and craft out this strategy for the next 2 weeks, you know exactly how much content you need to create. And then lastly, again, assign the roles and responsibilities. Unless you are a solopreneur and you don't have the capacity to bring on an assistant at this point, you need to know who's doing what so that everyone can collaborate and help contribute to the social media being a success. So determine who's responsible for creating and publishing the content, who's going to be responsible for reviewing it and editing it, who's responsible for making sure that it publishes correctly and it doesn't fail publishing. By following these tips, you're going to be able to create that consistent content calendar that works for you and your team, and it's going to be able to help you achieve your marketing goals more effectively. So we covered a lot in this episode today. We talked about what a content calendar is, the benefits of using one for your team, and some tips for creating a content calendar that works for you. Using a content calendar is going to help you improve your planning and your organization. It's going to help you be more efficient, and it's going to help you all collaborate to ensure that your social media and your marketing efforts are a success. I know that by saying sit down and set aside this time to create the content, it might seem overwhelming, but it's not much time. Think about how you're only going to be showing up a few times a week, creating the content that your ideal client and customer wants to see from you, and that's what's going to drive the leads. That's what's going to drive your community. I want to make sure that you also know that there could be some challenges to using a content calendar, and some of you might be resisting the change, and it can be difficult to stick to a content calendar, and there might be some concerns of lack of creativity or flexibility. But again, another thing I love about Loomly, you can very easily move things around if something important comes up. If there's something pressing that you want to talk about with your audience, you can easily move content around so that you can get the most pressing matters out. And that way, again, you're remaining that keyword consistent. So if you're not already using a content calendar, I really hope that this podcast episode has encouraged you to give it a shot. I really think you'll be surprised at how much easier creating social media content will be and how much more effective your social media efforts are going to be because of this strategic plan in place. If you're already using a content calendar, let me know. Let me know which tools you use. Like, are you using a free tool like Google Sheets or Meta Business Suite? Are you using Loomly? Send me a DM over on Instagram. I'd love to know which tool you're using for your content calendar. And if you say, hey, Katie, all this sounds awesome, I don't even know where to start, don't worry, I got you. I do have a free 31-day content calendar available. You can get that at katiebrinkley.com/content calendar. I'll include a link here in the show notes. Go ahead and grab it. It's free, and there really should be no excuses for you not getting those social media posts out on a consistent basis and you starting to use social media as that number one free marketing tool. Thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of Rocky Mountain Marketing. Make sure to subscribe so that you can continue navigating the world of entrepreneurship. And I'd love to hear from you. Please leave the show a review and connect with me on social media. You can find me on Instagram at I am Katie Brinkley or connect with me on LinkedIn. And if you're ready to start making some sales on social media, be sure to grab my free guide to selling in the DMs without being spammy. You can get that at katiebrinkley.com. Let's keep taking your marketing to all new heights.